Morning friends, today we are going to discuss about the remaining part of research algorithm, research plagiarism there, okay. In the previous class we clearly discussed about that what is meant by the plagiarism there, okay. What is meant by plagiarism? As I said earlier that plagiarism is nothing but the, okay, it's the unethical practice of using the words or you can say the ideas of other person and we are telling that these all works are done by own only, okay, without any proper acknowledgement. It is going to be called as a plagiarism in the research. Okay. Afterwards, one more second person says that plagiarism is nothing but the steal or pass of the one own. Okay, it means that we are going to take the other owner's data to my data, as we are going to show that one. Okay, your ideas, your techniques. I am going to show that I have invented this one. I have published this paper. I have drawn this mathematical formula like this. Okay, it is also going to be called as a plagiarism only. Okay, afterwards we discussed about that what is meant by exactly the plagiarism includes that one, how it is going to be offense also. Okay, first thing, copying, okay, paraphrasing and summarizing from any other works, okay, without giving proper credit. First thing. Second thing, submitting the another works as your own work, right? Purchasing or downloading a paper, okay, turning it in as your own work. These all things are going to be considered as a exactly plagiarism only. Okay, of course we discussed how we can avoid the plagiarism also. Okay, we paraphrase the another person's spoken or written words. Okay, please try to retype that words and explain your own words. We are going to do that one. Simply reorder the data, substituting the words is still considered as a plagiarism. Due to that reason, just you read out that all the things and try to write in your own words. That okay. Now use the theories, ideas, opinions, research, etc. They are not at all. Use it, no problem. Okay, so many people what they did they invented and they not published as their own only. Someone, if you found somewhere that you can use them also. Hmm? We discussed these things. Afterwards, why I need to cite the sources also we discussed. Okay, now in today's session, what we will do, we are going to discuss about that how we are going to guard yourself. Okay, how you are going to guard yourself against the plagiarism. However, accidental it may be. Please. Okay, please try to concentrate first. First, always running inside the research area. Okay, running inside the research area. First, try to understand the context. As I said so many times. Okay, directly spend the more than 5 days, 6 days on the same problem statement to get understand that one first. Once you clearly understood, no, okay, do not copy paste the text from the reference paper. Okay, don't directly do that one. Instead, restate the idea in your own. Possible? Instead of copying directly from the other papers, okay, read out that one. Try to get understand the context of that particular paper there, or particular technique there, or particular idea. Then you restate the idea in your own words. Second thing, understand the ideas of your reference source well in order to paraphrase correctly. Understand all the ideas, okay? Try to get understand from where exactly you got this source also. These things, no friends, first we need to paraphrase correctly, right? Second thing, quote that. What it means by quote? Use the quotes to indicate the text has been taken from another paper. No problem. I have referred the 100 papers, sir. Out of 100 papers, I have found these techniques are well adapt to my research area, well adapt to my technical ideas. Okay, in my research, these are the required. I have utilized this one. I have borrowed this one. I have withdrawn from this paper. Then I am going to quote that author name there. I have utilized. No one is going to ask. Right now, third thing, identify the identify what does and what does not to be cited. What does and what does not to be cited there. See, any words or ideas that are not your own but taken from another person need to be cited. Okay. If you not invented anything, if you not written your own word, if you not taken any invented any formulas, you have utilized from other people's. Okay, I have taken from the another paper, cite that. No problem. Okay, citation one, use that reference that number in a reference. Not at all problem. Okay. Second thing, cite your own material. No problem. You invented, okay, your formula. your idea, you wrote your own algorithm, cite yourself. I have done this work, okay. Citation, you give that one, take your credit yourself. Okay. Third, the scientific evidence you gathered after performing your test should not be cited. Yes. Scientific evidence you gathered, okay, after performing your test should not be cited. Okay. So many things you are going to collect from the scientific also. Okay. Once your test has been done, okay, afterwards no need to be cited, which discussed in the previous session, right? Facts or the common knowledge need to be cited if unsure that include reference. Simple thing. Okay, what if you are using any facts or common knowledge need not to be cited there. Okay, no need to be cited. The simple things or the common knowledge is there. That time directly you can utilize. Okay, then you as it is. Now, a very important friends, manage your citations. Okay, this plays a very important role in the research also. Maintain the records of the sources you refer to. Okay, if you find one small new word or the new sentence also, okay, copy that one. What I do, I will tell you. If I found this one, I have made one table only. Okay, I will copy that URL. Okay, and the data. Whenever I will feel uncomfortable, or whenever I will not understand that one, just I will click on that URL, the page will get open. Otherwise, if whenever you will get any records, no, please try to find the sources also and you refer. Okay, that plays a very important role. Use the citation software like EndNote, or you can say reference manager to manage the citation. Use software. So many the paid or the unpaid citation softwares are available. For them, you can utilize that one. For example, EndNote is there. Okay, so many people are not going to use them, but for your good reference, I am telling, if you want, you can use. Otherwise, what I said, that you know that you can manage also instead of paying or the giving your ideas to the other person, the third party softwares there, right? Now, use multiple references for the background information. Okay, for literature survey. Can use that one. Use multiple references. As I said earlier, always you can going to do the more research. Sorry, more literature survey. If you are doing the more literature survey, definitely you are going to have the more references there. Okay, due to that reason, for example, rather than referring a review, the individual paper should refer to be end cited. No, yes, no problem. For example, rather than referencing a review, okay, the individual paper should be referred to and cited. This is also very good idea. Okay, instead of going for the referring review there, you refer one paper. Okay, for the referred paper only, you can give the citation. Okay, that also plays a very important role. Now, fifth thing, use the plagiarism checker. So many plagiarism checkers are nowadays. Okay, once you done this, any paper from the software is going to be check the plagiarism with one software to the another software there. But thing here is that friend, before checking the plagiarism tools, no, little bit you do some research also here also, because this plagiarism people also copy your own data with the name of somewhere they are going to sell that your data there also. Okay, due to that reason, but use that plagiarism checkers. Okay, check that clearly how much plagiarism you are going to get from that. First you restate your ideas. Okay, rephrase that one, then the plagiarism is going to be reduced there, right? Afterwards, tip, while it is properly fine to survey the previously published work, okay, it is not alright to paraphrase the same with the extensive similarity. No need much explanation here. Okay, already done this one, same experiences again. If you are writing the ideas in the same way only, that doesn't play any role there. Due to that reason, don't use like that, don't practice in that way. Okay, caution. Afterwards, the above statement is a valid only for the literature review, okay, section of your document. Okay, this will be only for the literature review only. You should never ever use the someone else original result and pass them off as yours. Never do that difference. Okay. Result section and the conclusion section, no, you never copy the other person's and you use them as a your own data. Okay, that should not be. So to that reason, always avoid this thing. Okay. Whatever you got the results, whatever you have been done, as things only you are going to be considered inside your project there, inside your reference paper, so inside your writing paper and so. Okay. Afterwards, once we are having the different types of plagiarism. Okay, complete plagiarism is there. Okay, so six, five, three to five to six types of plagiarisms also available there. First, we'll go for this one. With respect to gravity and frequency of plagiarism, okay, the survey of scientific researchers has produced a ranking of plagiarism slide. Okay, who did this one? The scientific researchers has produced a ranking of plagiarism types here. Okay, while complete plagiarism represents the most serious offense. Okay, as I said earlier, that one, if you are completely copy paste the other papers into your as your own paper, this will be considered offense only. Paraphrasing the one, that is the most common. As so many people, what they will do, they will take the idea, but they are going to write in another way. Same thing only, paraphrasing. Okay, it is also going to be considered as an offense. It is thus very important to consider and understand all the various types of plagiarism. Okay, and how they occur. What they did, friends. Okay, the scientific researchers, okay, already they spent so many time to invent a particular idea on a particular technique. Okay, they invented that thing. But these people, so followers, or you can say this for the end researchers, directly they are taking the ideas of them and they are going to utilize that one, but they forgot to give the citation. Due to that reason, they started thinking that why they are uh, uh, showing my work as they done that one. Due to that reason, they spent some time and they are going to be change that one. Means they decided to make some different plagiarism types only. Okay, first one, that is the complete plagiarism. Complete plagiarism is the most severe common form of plagiarism, where a researcher takes a manuscript or study that someone else created, right, and submit it under his or own or her name. It is tantamount to intellectual theft and the stealing. Complete plagiarism. What they will do, directly copy and paste. Directly, they are not going to manipulate any algorithm or anything. They are directly use them without giving any citation there. It will be considered as a complete plagiarism only. So many people say that. So many. Second thing, source-based plagiarism. Sorry. See, plagiarism may occur because of different types of sources. No doubt in that, because the name itself telling the source-based plagiarism. Due to that reason, okay, plagiarism may occur because of the different types of sources. No doubt in that one. For example, I will give one example there. Okay, a researcher reference a source that is incorrect or does not exist. Okay, it is misleading citation. Some people, what they will do, something they will show that one. Okay, I have found this idea from this particular source. Then, but if you started finding that source, no, it does not exist. It's also going to be considered as a source-based plagiarism. It is misleading citation. Plagiarism also occurs when a researcher uses a secondary source of data information, but only cites the primary source of information. So many problems are there. Okay, I have utilized the ideas or the any data from the secondary sources, but I'm going to only citation for the primary source only. The secondary source, assume that this one you have developed an algorithm. Okay, in that algorithm, what you done there, you have taken everything, okay, from primary sources, you utilize somewhere in one formula there, important formula. You are not going to cite for the secondary source. For that, it's going to be problem there. Again, that is going to be considered as a source-based mechanism. Okay, and both these types lead to an increase in the number of reference sources. Thus, this in turn increase the citation number of the reference. If you're done also on problem, if you're not done also on problem. That is the first one. You are going to utilize the sources now properly you mention. Okay, properly you mention all the sources of your research. Okay, cite them correctly. Then, if you are using some secondary references, you mention there. Okay, but don't try to or don't allow them to increase that citation. So that never should be allowed. Right? Due to that reason I'm telling. Source based plagiarism is also what we consider. Direct plagiarism, third type. Direct plagiarism is occurs when an author copies the text of another author directly, word for word, without the use of quotation marks or attribution. Thus, passing it as directly all paper is going to be copied. Only author name is going to be replaced. Word to word, paragraph to paragraph, image to image, result to result. They will copy, otherwise they will just replace with the results there. They will tell I have done this. This thing should not be carried out. Okay. This will be considered under the direct plagiarism. Afterwards, friends, we are having one more, that is the self or auto plagiarism. In self or auto plagiarism, friends, auto plagiarism is also known as self plagiarism or duplication. It is happen when author reuses the significant portions of his or her previously published work without attribution. I hope you understood this thing. Whatever I want, no important things only I will take and I utilize in my data. What you want to find out the addition of two numbers, no? Assume that sorry, to identify the interest something. Okay, you know the formula PTR divided by 100. You only going to utilize that formula only. Okay, we are going to enter your data. We are going to able to get that, but we are not going to cite for that from where you got this required. Okay, it means that others or the third previously published work you are going to utilize in your record test. This also are going to be considered. This also considered as a auto plagiarism or the self plagiarism. Thus, this type of plagiarism is most likely to involve the published researchers rather than university students. Okay. The severity of this kind of infraction is under debate depending on the copied content. Many academic journals, however, have the strict criteria on the percentage of authors' work that is can be reusable. What they can do then? Okay, if that persons are completely copying that one, they are utilizing the ideas and not afterwards they restricted that one. In my paper, you can utilize only 10% of my idea, 15% of my data. Okay, so many people they will kept under the debate also. This one I have done, this one I have done, sir, I utilize this one, this one, this one. They will fight together and again they will. Some people intelligently they will collect some ideas also during the debate. That's a good plan. Okay, it will be always happens with the university students rather than university students. It will be happen with the published researchers. Okay. So it's also considered as a self or the art of the academy. Afterwards, paraphrasing, paraphrasing plagiarism. Okay, this is a published on Wiley. Okay, the most common type of plagiarism. It involves the use of someone else writing with some minor changes in the sentences using it once. That only friends. Again, same thing only come. Okay, they will copy everything, but they will make sense. Some grammatic changes are there, some other words they are going to this place there. Okay, this will be considered as a paraphrasing. Paraphrasing is nothing but the writing the same idea in a different way. That's it, right? Afterwards, inaccurate authorship. Inaccurate authorship or misleading attribution can happen in two ways. It will mainly happen in two ways. Okay. First way, in the form of when an individual contributes a manuscript but does not get credit for it. Yes. Okay. As I said earlier. The second form is the opposite when an individual gets a credit without contributing to the work. Some people are there, they will not do anything, but always they are luckily they will get some credit also. Right? Inaccurate authorship, which is going to be called as okay. This type of plagiarism, whichever okay, why way it occurs, it is a violation of the code of conduct in a research. Okay, unnecessarily if you are taking the what you can say that paraphrasing is over now. Inaccurate authorship also, right? Here also it is not going to be considered as right. It is also possible to commit this form of plagiarism when someone else edits the manuscript, leading to substantive changes. In this case, the recommendation is the acknowledged They contributes at the time of publication. Okay, when if they are not listed as a authors. Okay, these things will be same only friends as I said earlier. Okay, no need to be spend more time on that. Okay, some accidental is there, mosaic plagiarism also there. Mosaic plagiarism may be more difficult. Dif- Mosaic will be the more difficult to detect because it is interlaced someone else places or text with its own researcher. Okay. Now at the last we are going to discuss about accidental plagiarism. Okay, whether intended for the unintended, this is no excuse for plagiarism, and the consequences are often the same way. However, plagiarism may be accidental if it is occurred because of the neglect, mistake, or the unintentional paraphrasing. Students are likely to commit accidental plagiarism. So, universities should stress on the importance of education about this kind of plagiarism. Okay, accidental plagiarism usually deals with the universities, this persons only, or we can say students only. They will sometimes they know or unknowingly simply they will copy that one. These things will be given comparison for the university persons. Okay, this will be all about the plagiarism, right? Okay. Thank you.